Welcome back to our channel. Ever wonder if you're on her mind even when you're not around? Today, we're diving into 9 unusual signs she's constantly thinking about you. All right, here's the deal, guys. If you want to know if a woman's really into you, don't rely on the usual cues. Women reveal their feelings in subtler ways, often without even realizing it. So let's break down 9 specific signs that show you're living in her head, rent-free. 1. She brings up little details you mentioned long ago. Let's start with a big one. If she remembers small details from conversations you had weeks or even months ago, that's no accident. People naturally remember what matters to them, and for her, that means you. Maybe it's something as small as a restaurant you said you liked, or a band you're into, but when she brings it up again, it's her brain's way of showing that it's replayed that moment. Now she might just slip it into conversation like, "Didn't you say you loved Thai food?" Or, "I saw that song by that band you mentioned." It's not just conversation filler. This is her signal that she's been thinking of you outside of those moments, even if it's only in her subconscious. When she brings up those small details, it means she's reflecting on your interactions, holding on to them because they're meaningful to her. She texts randomly. 2. She texts randomly just to check in. Here's a classic, but one that's easily overlooked. If she's messaging you without any clear purpose, there's a high chance you're often on her mind. She might send a random meme, a funny picture, or even a "Hey, how's it going" message. These aren't just about the content. They're about creating an excuse to connect with you. When a woman is constantly thinking about you, she wants to keep that line open. She'll find a reason, even a casual or silly one, to message. Maybe she asks a question she already knows the answer to, or checks in on something small you mentioned earlier. Each message is her subconscious way of saying, "Hey, you were on my mind and I wanted to reach out." So the next time you get that casual text, know it's more than just casual. It's a sign she's mentally keeping you close. She mentions you in conversations with others. 3. She mentions you in conversations with others. Now, here's one that's easy to miss unless it's mentioned by a mutual friend. If she's bringing you up in conversations with others, she's definitely thinking about you frequently. It could be something she tells her friends, a reference she drops in passing, or even a compliment she passes along about something you did or said. This behavior shows that you're part of her mental landscape. You're not just a guy she talks to sometimes. You're someone she's actively thinking about when you're not around. She's processing your presence and how she feels about it, which is why she can't help but mention you. So, if a friend happens to say, "Hey, she was talking about you the other day," or "She mentioned that thing you did," take it as a clear sign she's thinking about you when you're not around. She subtly references your interest. 4. She subtly references your interests to see if you notice. When you're on her mind, she'll remember the things you're into and, here's the key, she'll bring them up in a way that invites you to notice. It's her way of connecting with you over shared interests. And at the same time, it's a subtle test to see if you're noticing her interest in what matters to you. Say you're a huge fan of a particular sports team. If she casually drops in, "Did you see the game last night?" or she brings up a related topic, she's signaling that she's remembering what's important to you. This isn't just politeness, she's replaying conversations and connecting with them in her own way. Essentially, she's trying to keep herself in your mind as much as you're in hers. She's accidentally available. 5. She's accidentally available when you are. If she's constantly just so happening to be available at the same time as you, take notice. This behavior goes beyond a casual alignment of schedules. When a woman's into you, she'll find ways to be present in your world, aligning her availability with yours so that spending time together becomes easy, even natural. She might even casually suggest joining in on plans or being in places you frequent, seemingly by coincidence. It could be that you mention going to a particular event and suddenly she's there too, or she's open to any plans you throw out last minute. This isn't coincidence. This is her prioritizing you in her time, making it clear you're on her mind. She follows your social media closely. 6. She follows your social media closely. This might seem obvious, but it's worth noting. If she's one of the first people to like or comment on your posts, or if she references things you share online, she's definitely thinking about you. A woman who's interested will check in on what you're doing, especially when she's not with you. But it goes beyond simply liking a post. Maybe she mentions something from your feed in real life, or even sends a private message in response to something you posted. It's her way of staying connected, even digitally, and it shows she's keeping tabs on your life and your experiences. This might even extend to subtle comments that relate to things you posted weeks ago, proving she's paying attention over time. She shows a special concern for your well-being. 7. She shows a special concern for your well-being. When a woman is constantly thinking about you, she'll naturally show a heightened sense of care. This is a clear sign you're on her mind more than usual because her instincts are kicking in. If she's making sure you're okay, checking if you got home safely, or following up on something personal you shared, she's showing you she's emotionally invested. And it doesn't have to be over-the-top caring. Even small gestures, like remembering you had a big meeting, or asking if you're feeling better after a cold, are ways she lets you know she's paying attention. It's her way of mentally keeping track of you and checking in, which only happens when she's genuinely invested, and you're often on her mind. She laughs at your jokes. 8. She laughs at your jokes, even the bad ones. If she's frequently laughing at your jokes, especially the ones that aren't all that funny, this is a subtle but strong clue. Laughter is a form of social bonding, and when a woman laughs often, she's subconsciously reinforcing the connection between you two. Even the worst punchlines become hilarious when someone wants to create rapport. Laughter releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical which adds to the positive association she has with you. This means she's more likely to think of you with a smile, and it's a reliable indicator she's keeping you top of mind. When she's laughing a bit too much at your jokes, it's her way of saying she wants to be in on your humor and wants you to notice her positivity toward you. She mentions future plans involving you. 9. She mentions future plans involving you. When you're constantly on her mind, she'll start picturing scenarios where the two of you are spending time together. These might be small offhand comments like, "We should totally go check that out sometime," or "That sounds like something you'd enjoy." When she brings up these hypothetical plans, she's not just throwing out ideas. She's mentally preparing for a future that involves you. It's her way of planting seeds and seeing if you're open to the idea of spending more time together. So if she's hinting at doing something with you in the future, she's likely thought about you in those contexts many times before actually mentioning it. Bonus tip. Bonus tip. She makes a point of remembering your favorites. One surefire sign she's thinking of you constantly is when she recalls the specific things you love. It might be your coffee order, a type of food you can't get enough of, or your favorite way to spend a Saturday. If she's remembering these small but personal details, it's because she's holding on to information about you. This isn't just a memory trick, it's her way of keeping a connection between you two alive in her thoughts. When she brings these up or uses them to surprise you, she's showing you just how much space you're occupying in her mind. Her ability to recall these preferences isn't accidental. It's a sign of her genuine interest and affection. Bonus tip 2. Bonus tip number 2. She finds reasons to use your name often. When a woman is constantly thinking about you, she'll start to use your name more frequently in conversations. This isn't just casual, it's an unconscious way to create familiarity and reinforce a personal connection. Studies show that hearing our own name lights up specific areas in the brain tied to attention and emotional response. So when she uses your name often, she's building rapport and, more importantly, connecting with you on a personal level. For example, instead of saying, "You're so funny," she might say, "You're so funny, your name." This subtle shift makes her compliments feel more direct, intimate and personal. So if she's making an extra effort to include your name in conversation, it's a strong indicator that you're on her mind. And she wants you to feel that connection too. So there you have it. 9 unusual signs that show she's constantly thinking about you. If you're spotting these signs, there's a good chance you're on her mind more than she's letting on. If you enjoyed learning about these, don't forget to subscribe, share your own experiences in the comments, and join us for the next